Hello everyone, welcome back to XIII-2, and today we are back in the dying world because there are some very important things to find in the desert.
When you say important, do you mean like, particularly O?
Yeah, so this is one of a couple hidden monsters that are just kind of around in places, if you know where to find them. And, just looking purely on a stat level, right now at his base level, he is already almost as good as our red chocobo with twice as much health.
Okay.
And he's only gonna get better.
Off the top of my head, I can remember one other hidden thing that's utter bullshitly located. This was really quite reasonable in comparison. That was practically out in the open. You could just walk up to it and grab it.
Yeah, they hide a lot of fragments and shit up on ledges and where you have to throw Mog at something where you can barely see. But we'll get to some of that other stuff in some other time. Right now, we're actually heading to a secret area of the Brescia ruins.
Secret, eh?
Yes, if you go back through the jail cell, you need to get a key by tossing Mog at something. We find this gate, as well as an area to explore back here, but there's not much here. I've already been through it.
Well, what is this game about if not randomly fucking around with the timeline? I mean, for real, the whole idea of side quests in this game seems to directly contradict the notion that messing with time is dangerous. But oh well. I don't think anyone really thought about that either.
Alright, so Brescia 300 is the snow-covered version of Brescia Ruins, and it's an interesting little area, I guess. We'll start seeing some secret enemy monsters here too, so, and including a very special one I think everybody will remember.
Oh, I remember. But for real though, when you say interesting area,
it's interesting in as much as a XIII-2 area can be interesting.
But I just wanted to make sure we had our priorities and our expectations firmly in check.
There is one particular quest here which is... it's something very special, I'll just leave it at that.
So yeah, like with a lot of side quest areas in this game, this place has a really dumb premise. And it has this music playing the whole time.
I can't complain, Full Speed Ahead is, again, one of the best tracks in this game.
I'll admit it's not nearly as annoying as its first couple of bars make it out to be. What is wrong with Mog's eyes?
Well, Mog is a stuffed animal. Incidentally, this is his final costume. So.
Well, that's not at all terrifying. So, we're not actually going to be getting paid, are we?
Fuck no.
Yeah, that seems like it should just make too much sense for this.
Looks like we're not the only ones interested in the rewards the government has to offer.
So yeah, for some reason there's monsters in the future, and for some reason there's a booming mercenary operation that does nothing but hunt monsters in the future.
Yeah, the premise is basically that monsters have overrun the Brescia ruins, and the government has just kind of thrown up its hand and said, fuck it, we don't know anymore. You guys want to go hunt monsters, we'll pay you to do it.
What a sensible government, just paying people to do a thing that they have no understanding of, or its implications, or how they think it's going to help, or what even is the point of it. We just throw money at the problem, sure, why not? Who the hell says what the hell kind of person says things like, if only I could find that valuable piece of equipment?
Stilted JRPG writers?
Also, I like the dialogue interspersed with the chocobo in the background screeching. It adds a certain charm to it, I think. Oh well, it looks like the monsters here are utterly unremarkable.
Oh yeah, no, this is, there's really only two things here that we actually care about, and we're not gonna get either of them, so... So yeah, strap in, folks!
Well, first I see we're throwing Mog behind a wall to hit a thing that we can't see.
Yeah, I just thought I'd check and see if there's anything back there. You never know.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like a hidden chest or some bullshit. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay.
People around here call me the Commander. Oh, there's the first one.
Hey, more chocobos.
So this is the purple chocobo. He is predictably the synergist.
Well, he's certainly getting his buffs up.
See, the problem is that you fight as he fights as if he's also a sentinel, which is,
Worrying.
No, it's not that it's not worrying, it's just that it's kind of pointless, because he's really, really easy to deal with.
Yeah. I guess, like, does he at least have, like, counters or something?
I mean, he's got Supersonic Wave, which can inflict stop.
Looks like it was just a single thing dispel. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this seems like a wasted fight. Like, if it was going to be a synergist, you'd think he'd have, like, some backup, so that they could do the synergist thing, where they buff all of their little guys protecting them, and then those guys do masses of damage, and it's really scary, because buffs are really good in this game. But no, they just make you fight a synergist who can cross-class, and then of all the things that the synergist cross-classes into, it cross-classes into a sentinel. Good work, game designers.
I mean, like you said, the most dangerous thing that it can do is stall you until you don't get 5 stars, which makes it harder to recruit it.
Oh, isn't that just Square Enix game design all over? Actually, if anything, that's more like Intelligent Systems game design. Just fucks with the player above all else.
So, Circuitrons are obviously electric bombs. I don't think we need to spend too much time on these guys.
I'm guessing they do the exact same thing that all the other kinds of bombs do, where they just cast area effects spells that heal them.
Mm-hmm. Which again is kind of a moot point when we can just drop a Faraga and kill all of them in one hit, but you know. That's what being grossly overleveled does for you.
Oh, this was a worthwhile venture down that passage. Sometimes even the nice parts of this game just seem to get in your way. They go to the trouble of making treasure spheres persist across timelines. Then again, they do appear on your map, so maybe you really do just have no one to blame but yourself for that.
Yes.
I like this guy.
Yeah, sure. Let's just blow the entire fucking ruins up. Who cares, man?
I don't care. I'm entirely in favour of this plan, and I think this guy's got the right idea.
Right, well now we have to go back and talk to the Commander.
His nickname is the Commander.
Seriously, his nickname is the fucking Commander.
Oh, that's his nickname. Like, I thought like there was supposed to be
Oh. What do we have here?
something interesting, no doubt.
Well, I'll tell you what we have here. We have a fucking Tonberry.
Oh shit.
And Tonberries have been buffed to hell in this game.
Like, they were scary enough before, but Jesus Christ.
So, their knife now, instead of doing a dispel, it inflicts poison.
That's just lovely. Like, that's just really great.
Yeah, and there's really no way to protect against it. Like, it'll hit you even through Veil, so...
Yeah, your guys are going to be poisoned, so you might as well just make sure you have good medics, because you're not getting rid of that.
You should also note that he is immune to debuffs this time around.
It gets better.
So, yeah. And then, of course, he still does the whole getting stronger as the fight goes on.
He is still a tomboy. And he still has 666% stagger, and that's still amusing for some reason. Well, I guess you better get on with murdering him. Because otherwise...
Yeah, that's not going to be happening in this fight.
Oh good, are we actually going to get to see this going horribly wrong? Wow, that was only the second level of knife, and he's messing you up already.
Yeah, his second level of knife does like 1,500 damage.
You need something from me? Oh, you want to know how the investigation's going, don't you?
So yeah, no, we'll be coming back to him.
According to my calculations, if we were to blow up the
I should hope so.
there's a chance we'll
I can't remember the last time we saw something in this game that was actually somewhat of a challenge.
willy-nilly. Too bad. Would have been a hell of a show. Oh, almost forgot to tell
I
you.
agree, it is too bad we can't blow up this place.
Commander is the Commander. Commander, where are you going?
Did someone push him? Did Mog push him?
Yeah, what happened was when Mog flew by, it pushed him backwards,
Ah, I see
but
that.
the camera didn't move, so...
Can I take a look?
Yeah, this game has
My
some
mass destruction idea.
interesting
I thought it was a good idea.
consequences of game mechanics still persisting during cutscenes.
I noticed something interesting in this
And when I say interesting, I just mean completely
ruins have been
broken.
subject to many explosions in the past, and they weren't from any battle. There was a direct attack on the academy by a certain group. I've never heard
okay.
of anything like this
I care.
before. I have a feeling
That's-
there's a lot
that-
I
that's
don't know
nice.
about this. I shouldn't stick my nose where it doesn't belong. Anyway, here's something.
So we can't blow up the ruins because they've been blown up before, and it would cause irreparable damage to Cocoon or... Okay, yeah, sure.
Aren't we kind of past caring about causing irreparable damage to Cocoon?
Well, that guy's a dick.
Yeah. So, I can't even remember because 12 minutes have passed since the last time we actually thought about the plot of this area. What the hell is actually going on here other than something kill monsters, get money?
There legitimately isn't anything more than that. This is just kind of a side quest area.
Because I could have sworn we were on some kind of overarching mission rather than just, you know, delivering reports between people.
Well, the first guy wanted us to go find a recording device. But other than that, like, there's really no overarching plot to this area other than, hey, monsters are here, let's go kill monsters.
Oh well. Oh, of course there's a Chocolina here. She's everywhere.
She's everywhere.
Like, are there at least a good number of side quests to do here, or is it literally just these... I've got 3?
There's, like, 5, I think, here?
Also, is anything ever just going to be, like, lying on the ground or propped up against a wall somewhere? Why is everyone's important stuff, like, phased out of time and space in a floating cube that literally only Mog can access? Have we actually come across anything just actually lying in the open? Ever?
There's a couple things in the Rubies of Grief areas. There's a couple things there just that are like boxes that are just like, they're not just like lying against the wall, but they like, you just have to like throw Mog at them. They're not at least phased out of existence.
Yeah. It's like they went to. It's just one of these things that just shows how thrown together things are in this game. When they were like, okay, well, I guess this is where a guy who gives you a fetch quest is, and I guess this is where the thing that you have to fetch is. We don't know what the fetch quest actually is going to be, so we'll just put the guy here and then put the floating thing here, and we'll figure out what the actual name of the item is later. Because really, all of these things are basically interchangeable.
Thanks, Mr. Government Agent.
I'm getting a certain impression about the contents of this room.
There's nothing there.
Really?
Yeah, there's nothing there.
They put a guy there being all like, don't touch it, even if you think you want to touch it, don't touch it, you mustn't ever touch it, there are rules and the thing must never be touched, and you actually don't even have an option to touch the thing and do nothing?
Nope.
That's some out-and-out failure. Oh, hey! Oh, I thought that was going to be a thing that we could pick up, finally, like, lying on the floor, right as I was talking about there not being things on the floor. That guy is...
Well, this guy's dead, but you know. Yeah, you know how paradoxes are.
Can you find him? He should have some sort of message for me.
I don't, actually. That's kind of a topic of some contention.
Alright, so this guy, we need to go check up on his buddy, and his buddy is that dick from earlier.
Oh, lovely.
Also, yes, here's a flower you can just grab.
Okay. I like how the flower that you can grab isn't animated and every other tiny blade of grass in the area is. I think it's cool. That was a lie, I don't actually think it's cool. But whatever.
Alright, there's our eventual destination. Well, we got a few things left to clean up here, so let's go ahead and start with our little friend down here.
Joy. Sounds like you forgot to tell a joke before you laughed.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm just not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let this little segment speak for itself.
I agree. Okay, I can't be quiet about this anymore. Okay. So this seems like utter bullshit.
As far as I know, there is nothing specific you have to pick, as that you have to pick something that is at least a joke. Or what maybe kinda sorta passes as a joke.
So basically anything except let's have a serious talk.
Yeah, pretty much.
Two things about this on. I'm gonna say great with massive air quotes. One is the canned laughter and the stupid sound effects. The other one is his dead, unfeeling eyes when he tells his funny things and his mouth moves and the sound of laughter comes out. Again, you say we have to say things that are kind of sort of maybe theoretically funny, but apparently he's not subject to that restriction.
You're magnificent. I've met my Sarah people, and I know not many can keep up. You have my respect. Now give it back. I wrote everything down. Here, take this.
So can we murder him after this?
Unfortunately no. So yeah, nope, that guy from before, he was a spooky ghost!
We know?
Well, I mean, it was new. I don't know why you would think that he wasn't. I mean, after all, we did pull him out of, back into existence.
So I guess the side quest continues in the grand tradition of Final Fantasy XIII-2 by delivering us grand revelations that we already know. Well, that's just great.
He discovered a new monster, which is the link between space-times? What the fuck?
No, maybe he just meant like the missing link, as if there's only one in this universe and he found it outside of time and space. Which, can you imagine arguing that one with a religious fundamentalist? Like, oh, you think a missing link doesn't exist, but we found it. Yeah, you found it outside of time and space. That doesn't count.
Well, if nothing else, we get a wild artifact for our trouble, so...
I'm not entirely sure why we get a wild artifact for our trouble. But...
You know, I can't complain, I'll take it.
So, to sum up, there was a guy who was dead, and for some reason wanted to know a thing about his friend, and then we told him, and then he was like, oh, okay, and then he evaporated and then left us a plot token. Do I have this about right?
Yeah, that's about it.
You know, I think I missed out the part with the terrible jokes, but, you know, that was really a deliberate choice rather than an omission on my part.
Alright, and that should wrap things up for here, so now it's time to head out on the gate.
In summary, I am extremely disappointed in this area. I mean, it kind of, like, makes itself out to be this like, awesome diversion with an interesting thing happening in it, but actually it's just another collection of fetch quests like every other area in the game.
Oh boy, I hope you're excited next time, because it's more Rubies of Grief! Well, but first we gotta go turn this side quest in.
Well, I would actually prefer that to doing more Rubies of Grief bullshit. I mean, only by a microscopic amount.
Alright, so do you remember this guy from, like, way back in video 8? Where he was like, my niece wants, you know, she wants me to find this silver flower for her, but I can't because it only grows in snowy climates.
Well, it's marginally less ridiculous than the guy who was like, oh, I wish I had this flower, but it only grows in, like, alternate dimensions other than this one.
Yeah, well, it turns out the side quest he sent us almost bullshit to begin with because his daughter died in the Purge.
Do you think our little princess will like this?
Well, what a guy.
And naturally we get the fragment Anima Miseria. You know what? I think that's a good summation of pretty much everything for this video.